terrible, 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 terrible weekend of boxing. That was the most trash fight, the most trash fights I've seen. Back to back to back to back to back with big names. Big name trash fights. I think that's what I got to refer to it as. Big name trash fights. Because that's what that was. It's all it was. It was just a big name trash fight. Trash cards. Where these guys didn't even want to fight each other. Like, for real. Like, there was no pride involved in those fights. It was very, very clear that those guys really were not really trying to fight each other. That's what it looked like to me anyway. Anyway, I'll wait for y'all to come on in. Hopefully y'all come on in today. Sip. Leave a comment as you come on in, man. Sean Curley in the building. What's going on, man? I'm laughing, bro, because this stuff, we're learning some lessons here, man. What's going on, Vi Ferrer? We're learning some lessons, man, for sure, bro. What's up, Andy Gill? We're learning some lessons, man. Ice Crushed, what's going on, sir? Friday night fights was bad. The Saturday night fights were bad. We'll see what happened with Monster anyway, but there's no way to recover from that, man. What's up, Troy Hutch? It was such a terrible, terrible, man. Hey, he said, Fanon, you see Shannon Briggs going off about fights on Friday? No, but I can tell you what I saw, man, because I said sometimes thinking about it. Those guys don't want to fight for Turkey. They have to fight for Turkey. They don't want to fight for Turkey. They have to fight for Turkey. And when you tell people that belts don't matter, man, you pay them all this money, bro. You paid them all that money, and they don't even fight. They refused to fight. I'm telling you, it was like they were on strike against Turkey or something. Nobody would fight for the guy. Nobody was out there trying to get, draw blood, stand in the fire and fight. Nobody was trying to do that this weekend. And these are guys that will do that. These are guys that will stand there and fight. Y'all know Devin is happy as pig shit about that Canelo fight. Why? Because it looks so bad? I mean, it's so bad, man. They won't fight for that guy. No, but Roelly was not one of his fighters. Roelly was fighting for the PBC. The rest of those guys were fighting for Turkey. None of Turkey's fighters fought. I'm telling you, I don't even want to see the Terrence Crawford Canelo fight because it's going to be fucking patty cakes, bro. They're going to play patty cake and take his money. I see the game now. I don't even want to see it because they're not going to fight. They're not going to actually fight. They're going to put on a snooze-ass performance because it really doesn't matter. I'm telling you, that's the worst. There's no way those guys were really trying to fight. No way those guys were really trying to fight, bro. Say, yeah, because the Canelo fight had a lower punch output than his. Yeah, man, I think they set a record for the lowest punch output in a fight. That's just telling Turkey to his face, bro, we'll take your money, but we're not going to fight for you. Give me my money, and I'm not fighting for you. I don't care if I win or if I lose this fight. Give me my money. Roelly messed up everything, and Devin is so happy. Why would Devin be happy? Devin is in a terrible situation. I don't know why you would say Devin should be happy. Devin, dude, Turki Alashik has to get out of boxing because they won't fight for him. Bro, if somebody will just take your money and they will not fight, say these dudes trying to survive and not fight. Oh, Devin broke Shakur's record. Look, man. The way that thing was set up. Remember what was said about Canelo getting his money? He has to go all 12 rounds in every fight. No. Exactly. Nah, they don't have to go. He doesn't have to do that to get paid. Christopher Summers said there's no money for Devin now. Yeah, I mean, I just want to know how in the world that could possibly help Devin. The best, dude, Roelly had a reputation for not being a good fighter. And he was the only fighter that showed up all weekend, bro. Even that trash ass draw they saved Martin Bacoli with and gave Bacoli that draw. That's what was said. Yes, people say that, but I doubt it very much, man. Because basically, you'd have to. It's like you're guaranteed not to fight if you have to go all 12 rounds. I doubt that. Somebody would say that shit. Ryan is a one-trick pony. No left hook. He's cooked. Amen. Maybe, maybe not. Roelly Romero can really punch. You know? Yeah, Skull ran all fight. Yeah, okay. Have you ever seen William Skull fight before? I'm just telling you, Skull, they're not going to fight for you. That fight with Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, that shit is going to be a patty cake match. I'm telling you, those two dudes are going to agree ahead of time that they're going to make their money and they're going to pay and they're going to fucking lay an egg in that fight, bro. I'm not going for the sucker move, bro. You guys are taking this money and trying to make sure you don't get hurt at all because Turkey's a prick. And I did see Terrence Crawford out there holding hands with him. I mean, that's what it is. That's a patty cake match. That's what they're doing, bro. They're slap boxing, bro. They're not fighting. They're going through the motions. They're just going through the motions, man. They're just going through the motions all weekend. That's all they did was go through the motions. Everybody just went through the motions for Lord Turki Alashik, and everybody took his money. Yeah, I paid for the fight. I got to admit, I paid the $90. Nello versus Bud on fire. Let's go. Yeah, if they fight, if they really fight, not if it's a sham like what we had this weekend. That was a sham, people. People, that fight card was a sham, bro. $90. Yeah, I paid $90. I got, man, terrible. I didn't want to pay for the Canelo fight. But I was like, all right, man, let me go ahead and buy the whole thing. And I watched it, but it was terrible, bro. Having fighters fight outside was horrible. Nah, fuck that. I found a new streaming app just for this fight. All right, next time, bro, I might have to cook these dudes, man. Yeah, bro, I paid $90, bro. I was told this man was changing boxing, and I was just hating. Look, bro, please, Canelo was a beast, bro. Canelo looked like shit last night, man. Whatever. You can say that he's a beast. Yeah, he's a beast if he actually fights. If they actually sit down and they fight, bro. But he looked like an old man going through the motions to me. I'm sorry to tell you, he looked like somebody going through the motions for a lot of money. There was no pride in that. There was no big audience there. There were no Mexicans in the crowd. There was no reason for this man to get amped up in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Any way, shape, form, or fashion, there's no reason. And yeah, if he got outboxed by a dude staying on the outside, whatever, dude, guess what Terry's gonna do? Stay on the outside, bro. He's gonna stay on the outside. And that fight is going to be a technical. It may be. I won't say it will be because you got to see the fight itself. But it may be a boring fight, man. It really may be. You look at it and say, oh, it couldn't be a boring fight. But damn, I didn't see how in the world Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barboza would be a fucking snooze fest. But that shit was a snooze fest. So was only good fight I saw this weekend. Oh, for real, only little bit of a good fight I saw this weekend was Roelly and Ryan. It was a money grab weekend with these fights. That's it. That's all it was. They didn't fight, bro. I'm telling you, they should take these shits off their records. Like, I think they did not put forth any effort. They didn't put forth any real effort, man. You know what I mean? Apparently they didn't let everyone walk up to the fight and had it blocked off in Times Square. Also, they didn't pay for the screens nearby to display the fight either. Totally mismanaged weekend. It's just, hey, what's up, JD? How are you, sir? Boxing isn't dead. Turki Alashik shit is dead. Boxing's not dead. That Turki Alashik shit's dead. I'm telling you, it's dead. You just don't know it's dead yet. Because already he's losing a bunch of money. But then when he has to risk that the fighters won't even go out there and fight for him, Turkey, they laid an egg for you, bro. They did that shit on purpose, man. Look, if one fight is boring, and if there's one fight that people refuse to really engage, okay. But if you go you go 2 weekends in 2 different countries and nobody fights in either country on either card, no, bro, they're just not fighting for you. It's just that simple. They're just not fighting for you. So you're losing a bunch of money. What's up, Jay Jones? Yeah, they could have had that. Yeah, they could have had it in the T-Mobile Arena, but then they'd have to sell tickets. See, now you don't have to know what their gate is and if it flopped and all of that shit. But we know, bro, that shit flopped. We know that shit flopped, bro. We know it. We know it, especially if people were trying to buy a pay-per-view the next day after that first snooze fest. Man, but they got me, bro. They did, because I bought for 2 at the same time. So, hey, man. My man with Denali Smith said, my main man for 9, back at it again. Salute. Thank you, brother. Martin Richards said, financially, if 4 fights go the 4-12 rounds, no, he does not get paid per round. Martin Richards, stop that. He does not get paid per round. If he got paid per round, that's fight fixing. Okay, he's not getting paid. Don't believe that shit. He's not going to get paid per round. He's not going to be like, oh, I got to go 12 rounds to get. He's not paid by the round, bro. So please, I'm going to delete this comment. You can just set that down. Nobody is getting paid. Nobody's getting paid by the round. Okay, where if the longer it goes, the more money you get. It's not like that, bro. You know, all 3 of the 135 Kings didn't perform well. They performed terribly, and so did Canelo. Canelo performed terribly. Guess who else performed not too well in their last fight either? Terrence Crawford didn't particularly perform very well against Israel Mammarov either. Telling you, man. You guys are selling your soul, man. That's how hoes get paid, not fighters, exactly. That Jogbe Bakoli was ridiculous, horrible. Yeah, Jay Jones said, fair enough. Yeah, hey, I'm just telling you. Teo looked respectable. No, he didn't. He looked terrible. I'm sorry, man. I'm just telling you like what it is. I'm looking for the fight, and I want to see a good fight. All right? Bro, your technical abilities and all that stuff is fine. Like, that's all cool. But at a certain point in time, I'm sorry, you got to sit down and start throwing some punches, man. I have been watching enough tape on old school fighters to know those guys did not just float around like that all fight. They may float around like that when they're taking like a rest round or something like that. But after that, they go back to try to get with the dude at least a little bit in spots. You know what I mean? You guys are one punch jab, like you flicker your jab. You're not even really throwing a hard jab. You're just flicking the jab out there, flicking your right hand out there. But again, I will suspend my judgment on them as a fighter, because honestly, I don't believe they fought. I think that they tanked for Turkey. I think they tanked on Turki Alashik. Really, I think they tanked on him. Like, man, this dude ain't gonna be around forever, bro. Let me get this money. Let me get this money real quick. Make sure I don't get hit too hard. Make sure I don't hit him too hard. And then the card's over. It ain't like they could have got booed. You know what I mean? Because there's no crowd. Bro, they're not even fighting in crowd. Hell yeah. He said, you see what Bradley said about Devin, who trained him, Usain Bolt. Yeah, hey, look, bro. Tim Bradley got nasty with it. Shout out to Tim Bradley. Shout out to Tim Bradley. I like Tim Bradley when Tim Bradley is really being Tim Bradley, but it was not so much when Tim Bradley is being ESPN Tim Bradley. But the Tim Bradley that was snapping off on these dudes, he's like, man, this shit is garbage. Like, he said that was garbage. That shit was terrible. Man, it's garbage. JD said, Mr. Martin, do you think Haney is gun shy, and do you think Ryan is being clean from Austrian has something to do with his loss? I think none of those. I just think that he's been out of the ring for a year and in a new weight class. I don't believe that Austrian shit, to tell you the truth. Austrian was not the reason that Roelly Romero blasted his ass upside the head. Just like Ostring wasn't the reason that Devin got blasted upside the head by Ryan. So I take what's said about Spence working on a 3-fight deal with Turkey isn't true. I don't know whether that's true or not. If I was Errol Spence Jr., I don't know why I would. Well, I don't know why I'd go to Turkey, but I doubt very much that he's going to go to Turkey. Those guys are loyal to Al Heyman and the PBC, man. And he's a very wealthy man, bro. He just made a ton of money, bro. So he can go out and make another ton of money again. And he doesn't have to be subject to holding people's hands, blowing kisses at people, or whatever other hell else Turki Alashik wants you to do, man. You know? I'm still telling you there were ring card boys in New York. I'm telling you, what up, Jesus is King? Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, I believe I just think they tanked those fights. I personally believe they did not fight. I believe it was intentional. I need to see if there's a boxing union somewhere where everybody got together and was like, look, man, we're about to take all of Turkey's money. We're going to sign for it. We're going to sign these fights. We're going to take these fights. Bro, these fights going to be boring as fuck. And you're going to give me my money when I'm done. And then I'm going to walk out and whatever. When he's done in 18 months and he goes to try to sucker people to sign for TKO, hopefully these guys will not have burned their bridges to real promoters that really, dude, why in the world would you snatch this away from all of the people that could have attended these fights? You had so many people that would have attended those fights in New York City, bro. Could you imagine? I mean, for real, there's almost no way that fight with Ryan, Devin, and Tio all on the card that they could not have sold that out. They couldn't have sold the Barclays, or they couldn't have sold out something. I'm sorry, bro. I think they absolutely positively could have done that. But you just decide to sit there and try to flex in the middle of Times Square. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Look, man, I fuck with Tim Bradley for what he said. He said, bro, that shit was nothing but a flex. That was nothing but a flex. You're trying to tell people what you can do in Times Square. Now, what I think he was alluding to, and I'm not saying that this is what he's alluding to. This is what I thought of when he said it, though. I thought of the fact that this dude is from this. I don't care, bro. A whole bunch of Saudis had something to do with blowing up that damn building. And for this little cocksucker to sit up there in the middle of Times Square, blocking out everybody from the city from actually being able to see the fight, not having it just a flex and sit there in the middle of Times Square and talk about just so you can show how much money you have, your opulence, just so that you can be sufficiently opulent. Man, it's just terrible, bro. Those guys ain't fighting for you, Turkey. I'm telling you. They are tanking on you, buddy. So if I was you, Turkey, hold on, man. Don't say I finally getting demonetized. Don't say that, bro. Don't put that on me, T. Orlando. I gotta delete that comment. Please do not put that shit on me, bro. I don't like that, man. You know me. So I gotta throw that out of here. I have to reject your evil, bro. You know what I'm saying? I gotta reject your evil. I'm just saying, bro. You sit up there in the middle of the Times Square. The fight can't be in an arena. It's just got to be there in the middle of Times Square for you and your friends. And guess what they did for you and your friends? They stunk up the joint for you and your friends. The 9/11. Oh, thank you. Nah, I'm not going to do too much of that. Yeah. You know? So, Turkey, man, guess what, dude? You can make people box. You can't make people fight. You can make people box. You can't make people fight. No, you can't. No, you can't. But you sitting up there. Martin Richards, bro, let me tell you something, bro. Fuck off, nigga. I'm not reading shit else you got to say, dog. I don't give a fuck about your math. I don't give a fuck about your dumb ass. Because, bro, people do not get paid by the round. I'm not going to break down how much you get paid by the round. Because nobody gets paid by the round. Okay? Nobody gets paid by the round, stupid. You know why? Because somebody may turn their knee. What happens if somebody turns their knee or throws out their back and they can't continue? It's called a TKO, right? So you think the guy can hit a TKO and then Turki Alashik can take some of the money away because the other guy had one? Bro, will you shut your dumb ass up? You don't get paid by rounds. I don't care how much you do your math, stupid. I don't care about your math. Your problem, the problem is your problem that you're trying to solve, is how much he gets paid per round. He does not get paid per round. Any way you want to slice it, it's a stupid conversation to have, and I don't want to have it. And I'm not sorry to tell you that. You guys like to play a lot of stupid games, bro. I'm not reading your numbers. I don't know what kind of cornball shit you got going on while you want me to read certain things. No, bro. I'm not reading enough. I already told him you don't get paid by the rounds. If you want me to spend enough time to understand what you say, don't start it off with something stupid. Okay? Because once you say something stupid, I'm checking out on the rest of it. Right away, I'm telling you. If you start off saying something dumb, like people get paid per round, I'm going to turn you off right there. Because I know you're either just talking stupid shit for some goofy reason, or you just don't know what you're talking about. At which point in time, I will just tell you. Yeah, put stupid shit in the super chat, please. Put it in the super chat. I would appreciate it. Other than that, bro, people do not get paid by rounds. If that was the case, you know what that's doing? That is discouraging people from knockouts. That's discouraging people from fighting at all. To make sure it goes 12 rounds, you're going to play patty cake. If you get paid by the round, bro. Now, if you're gambling on the round, then yeah, you can carry it. Like, ooh, go the distance, because I'm going to bet it's because the odds are for the distance. Eddie Hearn looks annoyed as hell when Turki's around. Hell yeah, he would be, should be. Turki's a prick, man. Turki's a prick, bro. Who would ever? Yeah, Terrence is going to beat the hell out of Canelo. Sure he is. Like I said, I'm looking forward to a patty cake. I'm looking forward to patty cake, Baker's man. You know what I mean? Bad Bud down bad for holding Turki's hand. Bro, I mean, you know, whatever, man. These dudes is wild. For now, tell them what? Tell all them that fought this weekend to keep Tang's name out their mouth. They all stink. Look, man, they were terrible, bro. They didn't come to fight. Like, you look at the difference between, hell yeah, patty cake, Baker's man. Something as fast as you bake that cake as fast as you can. We used to play that all. Me and my sisters used to do. Say, oh, play, mate, and play with me. That's what the hell these dudes were doing all weekend. Say, oh, play, mate, and play with me, and we'll be dolly sweet. All that shit. That's what them dudes be on, man. Man, look, bro. Turkey, hey, Fanad, did you hear Canelo after the fight say that's why I don't like fighting them? No. Oh, that's why I don't like fighting slick fighters, bro. That bounce around all over the place. Yeah, you don't like, or black fighters? Yeah. Hey, yeah, but Eddie and Bud traveled to Turkey to get those fights and Saudi from New York to see those fights. Fights we wanted to see, but ended up ass. Exactly. You guys always want to talk, oh, the fight. Talk about how great a fight is before the fight happens. Maybe we should stop saying how great fights are before the fight actually takes place. Let's try that next time. Because you know what? They shitted all over Gervonta Davis's fight, and it wound up being a good fight. They try to big up the shit out of this stuff, and it winds up all being a bunch of shit fights. But again, I'm telling you, I think there's a conspiracy. And he said, patty cake. Wow. Y'all don't play. They don't play patty cake no more. When we were kids, I have sisters. I have two older sisters and a younger sister. And me and my older sister, immediate older sister, and my younger sister used to play patty cake all the time, man. It was really fun. We got so fast, so we could do it the fast. Say, hell, play, man. Play with you. We would go fast as hell. Yeah, we Negroes, real Negroes. That's some Negro stuff. Kamal Oz said one of the most common bogus narratives is how much Canelo has improved since Floyd. While talented, he is very privileged and has avoided tough fights while handicapping others with crazy clauses with short camps and weights. Oh, yay, hey. Once again, here comes Kamal to ruin my high. A Canelo fight. I fell asleep on Canelo last night, though. I can't lie, bro. I fell asleep on that shit. I was out of there. By the way, both Martin McCauley and Ife Ajagbe suck. You can't blame Canelo for that fight. William Skull didn't engage. That's why Canelo said he hates fighters like that in scaring and running, but hopefully Crawford won't run. Look, I don't care. He stunk the gym up, man. You stunk the gym up. All I'm saying is they stunk the gym up. William Skull didn't. Man, sometimes I think some people say they thought William Skull won the fight. He said Canelo couldn't cut a light switch off, let alone the ring. Yeah. Tank's fight was the best. Thank you, Lamont Roach. Thanks to Lamont Roach for putting up a good fight, bro. Coming in there confident, coming in there ready to do his thing and performing. So also, thank you to Errol Spence Jr. for always performing in fights. Errol Spence Jr. performs in every single solitary fight he has, man. Every single solitary fight. Never a boring one, bro. Skull hit him way more. Yeah, when I saw it, I thought Skull was winning. But again, like I said, I fell asleep because I knew they weren't going to give. I knew they weren't going to give him that shit. Why does Turkey have people pay for pay-per-view only to put it on YouTube the next day? Because he's a fucking idiot. That's your Camp 11. Because Turki Alashik is a fucking idiot. That's why. Turki Alashik thinks because he has access to money and he's sufficiently crooked that he can do anything that he wants to do. Your fight cards suck, Turkey. You are the first promoter ever to have big name fighters on big name cards that will not fight for you. They will be in the fight, but they won't fight for you. No, they will not. No, they will not. They will stink that thing out for you. They were in the ring congratulating and hugging and talking after fight like they were agreed to not play hardball to ensure the super fight. Bro, let me tell you something, man. I'm throwing you out, nigga. Get out. Okay, I don't want your bots, man. Please go away with the bot shit, bro. If I don't know you and you start acting like you're trying to sell a fight and saying some shit that some journalist would write, bro, I'm going to throw you out, okay? I'm just going to tell you, man, I'm not interested in you journalists, you PR people coming in here trying to sell something. As we get closer to that fight, I'm sure I'll get excited for the Canelo Alvarez Terrence Crawford fight. But as of right now, this second right now, I'm not interested in it. Because those guys did not fight last night and I got robbed of $90. Okay? You guys robbed the Mexicans that would have been in Vegas of a wonderful weekend on Cinco de Mayo. You fucking ruined that because you're a fucking asshole and you take a fight all the way to Saudi Arabia. You also ruined the weekend, could have been of a lot of boxing fans in New York area because you're a dickhead and put it in the middle of fucking Times Square where nobody could see it. So I'm sorry, bro, but your fucking organization's a piece of shit, Turkey. Like, it's garbage, man. It's garbage. Garbage. Just telling you. Exactly. Turkey blocked out the fans and buying fighters so he could practice his gay shit. This shit is what he's talking about. So you can do shit like this, man. Where's this shit at, man? Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit, man. Turki Alashik. What is this shit, man? Turki, what is this shit? Why do you have a half-naked man being a ring card girl? Is that why you're hiding it and you don't want people to see? Because you want to have naked men be ring card girls? Is that what it is, bro? You got niggas fighting in the ring and they got to watch some fruity dandy hop his ass around the ring, switching back and forth. And they watching it, and these dudes are fighting, bro, and they got to see this shit in between the rounds, bro. I'm telling you, bro, I would be like, what the fuck is this? This nigga got ring card boys. Turki got ring card boys. Ring card boys. If you have ever seen a ring card boy before in your life, please, 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 please put it in the chat. If you've ever seen a ring card boy before. I personally have never seen a ring card boy before. And I do know that there's a sexual aspect to ring card girls because the ring girls always have short shorts on. And then they always have like, a lot of times they have their midriffs out, right? They have their shoulders out. They have their arms out and they're beautiful women, right? He switches out the beautiful women and puts in what he must consider to be a beautiful man. I cannot believe you, man. I can't believe you do support the absolute and complete bubification of boxing, man. This man looks like he wants boy toys. He likes boy toys, man. He likes boy toys. That's what I'm paying $90 to support you paying boy toys? Exactly. You a booty goon, bro. A booty goon with money. And I'm telling you, bro, I suspect all y'all of y'all bootyliciousness. You know what I mean? I didn't think boxing was bootylicious, bro. I didn't think boxing was bootylicious. I didn't think we were going to have Thug and Love as the ring card boy. We got Thugs and Love. You remember that shit from the Boondocks, Thugs and Love? Exactly. Forget the models. He said, bring the naked thugs. Bring it. Hey, get me some of them ones from Brooklyn. Can you get me some Brooklyn boys? Can you get me some from BK? Get one ring card boy from BK. Get one from can we get one from every borough? Sponsored by Baby Oil. Hell yeah, man. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. What are y'all supporting, bro? What else are y'all doing over there, man? What else are you doing, man? What are you doing, Bug Eyes? What are you doing for the contract, Bug Eyes? What are you doing for the contract? What are you doing for the money, dog? Are you down for the get down? Is that what it is? Are you down for the lay down? Is that how you getting this money? You down for the lay down? Is that what it is? You sleeping your way to the top? You got niggas, you got black men on YouTube sleeping their way to the top. Man, Turki has made the first time a man can sleep his way to the top of boxing. Boy, I swear, bro. I can't believe y'all soft ass niggas. I cannot believe you soft ass Fugazi ass Negroes, bro. For real. I can't believe you Fugazi ass niggas, bro. You guys are, dude, did you see the picture? Hey, look, watch this shit. I hate to say this, but did you see the picture of Ryan Garcia in his underwear in Times Square? Did you see that they put that man, Ryan Garcia, in his drawers? I'm trying to keep a look at his face because I'm like, man, I don't want to see that. I didn't want to see his bulge. I'm like, man, I'm doing shit like this. I'm doing shit like this. You know what I mean? Like looking over, I'm trying to look at his face and doing like this shit so I don't have to look at his Johnson. You got this, really, bro, this nigga got his Johnson out, bro. I'm like, man, for real? You doing them like that? Man, Ryan said, I think Ryan threw the fight. Ryan was like, fuck this, I'm not winning, nigga, I'm losing, dog. Casemiro. Yeah, we're not talking about Casemiro right now, brother. We're not talking about the Filipino fighter Casemiro. Rings tweet after this weekend. This is the most watched weekend in boxing history. 300 billion impressions and 250 pay-per-view buys across all three events. Historic lies. 300 billion impressions. It had more impressions than the fucking World Cup. They're claiming this thing has more than do you know the entire World Cup? The entire World Cup had, the last World Cup had 143 billion impressions, and you guys doubled it, is the lie you're telling. Nobody could see the fight in person in New York. Nobody could see it. Nobody could see it in person. Oh, that's your prediction? Oh, okay. Oh, they would say it, bro. They would say it, dog. They'll say it, bro. Hey, phenomenal show, bro. Don't play with me because you know they'll say it. You know they'll say it, bro. You know that is right up that's right up their alley, bro. That's right up their alley, dog. That's right up their alley, dog, to say some shit like that. They had the Japanese dude get out of a cab, bro. Man, they were like, what's with the cars, man? Why are you, dude, can I be for real, for real? Honestly, man, I think this nigga, Turki Alashik, is high. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think he's doing some like symbology shit or something. Like he's trying to deliver messages like through symbolism. You know what I mean? So nah, bro, I think this dude is just janky. Why would you have cars? Because you have big cars. Man, you're not a thug, Turki. You're not some thug, bro. Oh, you are a thug, Turki. I'm sorry. But you're a pissant, nigga. Okay? Bro, I really wish I could tell Turki to his face what a pissant he is. You're just a pissant, nigga. You're a pissant. Trying to run niggas in cars. Trying to have the event in Alcatraz. Bro, you came out with niggas driving around in cars right after you tried to have it in Alcatraz. Okay, bro, I know the lingo, okay? You're trying to act like you got all this muscle because you got all these cars that you have that work for you. All the different cars in the United States. You have cars, right? What is a car? When you're in jail, a car is your crew. A car is the gang that you run with. That's your car. And you have to get in that car when you get into prison. If you are a white boy, you got to get in with the white supremacists. If you are black, you got to get in with the blacks. If you go to prison and you're Mexican, you got to get in the Mexican car. That's what you have to get into. That's a car. So when I'm listening to this clown talk all this shit, like because he's trying to act like he's Mr. Big in with all the real power players in the United States. Nah, bro, you're not, Turki. They don't like you, bro. All they're doing is taking your fucking money, bro. That's all they're doing is taking your money from you and tanking the fights, bro. Trust me. That's all they're doing to you. You don't have no cars here, bro. You have no cars here, dog. No cars. All the cars have been bought, man. So you can stop that shit. Anyway, Turki don't even know Crawford's first name. No, Turki said it needs to be a black American. No, Turki said it needs to be a black American champion. Oh, he said that? Thanks for saying that, Turki. Now get your ass the fuck up out of the United States. Take your ass back to Saudi Arabia, dude. Hey, Ezo W said facts, Fanon. A car is definitely penitentiary politics. Yeah. That's what he's always doing, bro. That's why I say Bill's always false flagging. Bill false flags all the fucking time, bro. All the time he false flags. All the time. I'm like, bro, you're not made. You're not a made man, Bill. Why are you talking like you're a made man, dude? You're not a made man, homie. You're acting like you a made man. Nigga, you work for somebody that may be a made man, but you're not a made man, Bill. And you keep acting like you are, bro. And I sit back listening to this nigga acting like he's something he's not all the time. When he's talking about all the street niggas he got and he knows this dude, man, nigga, you don't know nobody, man. Don't know nobody know you. They know you like they know who you are because you're on television, but ain't nobody fucking rocking with you, nigga. They think you're a snitch. So ain't nobody fucking with that dude. None of these niggas you think you got, Turkey. These niggas a bunch of fucking average run-of-the-mill ass niggas, bro. And half of them are sweetie pies. Yeah, exactly. Bill a made man made up. Man, I'm telling you, I know the signals, man. I know the signals, homie. Because guess what? I am really a made man. You're not a made man, homie. You're not. Okay? I know you're not because of how you act. And I know you're faking it by the things you say. But other people know those signals too. So you false flagging all over the fucking place. Man, get y'all a bunch of fucking sweeties, man. Just get the fuck on, bro. Ain't nobody falling for this shit. Just put on some good fights in a real fucking stadium. Pay the fighters real money, fair money. Let promoters do their own matchmaking so that they can do what they know how to do, which is make a fight that when the people are actually in the event, they'll enjoy watching. Some of it's not just about the names. You do have to give people exciting fights. If you have one stinker fight, okay, you had one stinker fight, but you gotta match make fights during a fight card to keep people's interest. And if you put people to sleep 3 fights from the main event, and then the second fight you sleeping through, and then the third fight, you get a little excitement, bro, your matchmaking sucks, Turkey. You just don't know how to put fight cards on that will entertain people. And don't nobody want to see a half-naked Tupac, okay? Nobody wants to see a half-naked Tupac as a ring card boy, man. Come on, man. Keep that shit over there in Saudi, man. It's bad enough. It's bad enough that you can't have ring card girls over there. But, dude, you can have ring card girls here. This nigga said, no, we can't have ring card girls. We need a ring card man. I'm just telling you. Yes, nigga, I hear what you niggas are saying. You false flagging, bro. In Turkey, you're dealing with people that are false flagging. That's the thing, too. Bill is false flagging around Turkey. Turkey don't know that Bill is fake, that Bill ain't real. Bill ain't real. Bill don't got no muscle. Bill can't move nothing. He can't move nothing. He can't pick up nothing, can't move nothing, can't buy nothing, got no money. He got a little money, but he ain't got no real money to do real things. We got real money, Turkey. We got real money. We don't need your money because we got plenty of it, homie. Trust me. So just put the fucking fight on, nigga, and shut up, okay? Because the fights are going to be back in New York. The fights are going to be back in Vegas, bro. And there's going to be big crowds where everybody can eat, Turkey. You know what I mean? Like all the businesses around those places that would have had food, people going to restaurants, all the hotels would have had people in hotels, the airplanes, the airport makes money. Everybody makes money off those events when you bring 20,000 people into one place. But when you don't do that, you take all the money away from everybody else because you're a selfish prick that want to have ring card boys. Because you want to have ring card boys, man. Come on, man. Nobody wants you. Nobody want that shit, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, they false flag, bro. I've seen Bill false flag. I've seen it. I know who runs DC. Bill ran off a bunch of names of who runs DC. And I'm like, that's not who runs DC. Who are you even talking about? Like, you talking about some low-level ass nigga that you may have been able to move something with? Is a nigga you know? You don't know who runs DC or Baltimore or Chicago or LA or New York or Miami or New Orleans or Dallas or Houston or Austin or Omaha or Kansas City. You don't know who runs those places, man. You a fraud, man. You a fake, man. You guys are fakes, bro. And this whole event was fake. Even the crowd was fake. You had a crowd of people outside that match, right? Outside of the match, making it look like there's 400,000 people out in 400,000 people out there waiting for this fight. They wish they could get in. No, bro. Those are the normal people who are going around Times Square, who visited Times Square. They're tourists that came to New York to watch a play on Broadway or to eat at some of their fabulous restaurants or just to be in the atmosphere of New York City and Manhattan. They are not there for you, and they're definitely not there for no ring card boys. Exactly. Bill brought the dope on a plane. Enough said. Exactly. He's a snitch. That's some snitch shit. That's some snitch shit. So, nah, man, I see what they're talking about, bro. I hear when you guys are trying to be slick, man. So, yes, Turkey, thank you for saying you need Black American champions. What we need is for you to get the fuck out, is what we need. Go on about your business, man. Go make some fights in Saudi Arabia, man. With some Brits. Because we don't need you, man. We don't need you, Turkey. And I'm telling you, people don't even want you, Turkey, because you're a prick. If you weren't a prick, you might have been able to make it work. You weren't a prick. But then again, if you weren't a prick, you'd never be in the situation that you're in if you weren't a prick. If you weren't a prick, you wouldn't have helped Mohammed bin Salman overthrow his brother. If you weren't a prick, you wouldn't have done that. So I guess the only reason you're here is because you're a prick. So you just want to continue to be a prick and think being a prick is going to get you everywhere. No, nigga, I am not that nigga that you got over on. You ain't getting over on the kid, bro. You're not getting over on us. No fucking chance, homie. I'm not that soft ass nigga that you could put in a room and scare out of his title. That ain't us. That's not us, Turkey. It's not gonna happen, bro. Trust me, we'll beat you, nigga, please. Turkey doing fine. Virgin Max must be a bussy boy. Yeah, exactly. He's doing fine. No, he's not doing fine. That was the worst weekend of boxing in the history of boxing. That was the worst weekend of fights in the history of weekends of fights. You wasted so much of everybody's time with those terrible matchups you made. Terrible matchups you made. Nobody enjoyed those fight cards. Nobody enjoyed those fight cards, man. That shit was terrible. The only thing that was attractive about it was the names. That's all you gave was names. Names, but no fights. That shit was garbage, bro. Man, much love, Jeep Red Boy. Thank you, brother, for the support, man. Yeah, Canelo should be right there in Vegas, man. With 1 million Mexicans in the city, spending all kind of money, having a blast, bro. You know what I mean? But no. Turkey owe you $100, man. That shit was garbage, man. I'm telling you, that weekend was garbage. Now, on the other hand, there was a fight that took place a weekend ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago. Now I can't recall, which was Chris Eubank and Conor Benn. That was a terrific fight. You know why? Because those guys had something to fight for. They fought like that because Conor Benn is Nigel Benn's son, and Chris Eubank is Chris Eubank's senior son. So those guys had something to fight for. They were fighting in front of the people that knew them in their home country, in front of a massive crowd of people that enjoyed the fight. What's up with the gay comments? This is what's up with the gay comments. Because there's a ring card boy. That's why there's a conversation, bro. Because Turkey had a ring card boy. Would you like to explain the ring card boy? Would you like to explain the ring card, the picture of the ring card boy? If you'd like to explain to me why there's a half-naked man holding, and I don't even know, does the man have pants on? The nigga might be in short shorts. He may be in Daisy Dukes for all I know. I don't see what he's wearing, but I can't see what he's wearing below it. Come on, man. Don't act like that ain't some shady shit for somebody to be wondering why there's ring card boys. This is boxing. Ring card boys. So I'm going to wait to understand why I can't talk about the fact that there was ring card boys. And he's running around holding grown men's hands. Huh? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? I've never seen a ring card boy before. I never have. This is an innovation right here. This is a innovation, bro. A ring card boy. Why are we talking about it? Because there's a ring card boy. That's why I'm talking about it. Did you see the venue last night? It was 50% empty, of course, because who cares? Of course, because the Saudi Arabians probably don't care about the fights. They're probably watching a soccer match or something. Isaiah, last night I caught Turki holding Bud's hand when he told him to come up to the ring. Look, I don't know if it's blasphemy or not. All I'm telling you is I don't want ring card boys. If I know that there's going to be an event, and in between the event, in between the rounds, there's going to be a half-naked man trying to entice the audience with his chest, bro, I don't want to be there. Okay? I just don't want to be there. I'll watch it on TV, and I'm glad that guess what? DAZN didn't show it. I only got to see this in one little snap. It was that quick. The camera was on him. And I was like, is that a ring card boy? And I went back to the moment where I saw it, freeze framed it, took a picture and kept it, and then looked to see if he came out again. And he never came out again. He never was shown again. You guys, if you think Fugazi shit like that is cool, okay, no worries. But just understand that that's not the general culture of boxing. The general culture of boxing is not to hold men's hands, and it is definitely not to have half-naked men showing their breasts off to you. Okay? Sashaying through the ring, bro. What are you talking? Do you want to see that? I'm just wondering, if I pay $1,500 to sit ringside, do I want to continually to see ring card boys? No, I do not. If there are ring card boys there, I'm not paying the money for the card. I'm telling you. So just let me know now if you guys think we need to save boxing by bringing in male strippers, hiring male strippers to be ring card boy. That's probably a male stripper. A male stripper to be a ring card girl. I'm not paying the money for the ticket. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to pay for the ticket. I'm not doing it. And you ain't typing, homie. I need to know. Is this part of the new revolution of boxing? Are we going to do away with ring card girls and now we're going to bring on ring card boys? If that is the innovation that Turki wants to bring, I'm not behind that. I don't support that. No, we've already got half-naked men in the ring. Okay? Isn't it enough that you already got two sweaty-ass dudes punching each other in the ring to begin with? You need to bring in another one? Like, isn't it already enough that you got two half-naked men fighting each other and hugging on each other half the damn fight? Isn't that enough man-on-man contact for you? You need now to have a ring card boy on top of the two naked men? That's what you need? Is that where we're going? Is that where we're going? He wanted to have it in Times Square. He wanted to have it in Alcatraz. So what? So he could have little black men behind the prison bars? Could you imagine the promo for that one? Come on, man. Saudi Arabia was already putting Anthony Joshua inside of a golf cart holding hands with an orangutan. Do you guys remember when Anthony Joshua went to Saudi Arabia before he'd ever fought there? And they took pictures of him riding around in a golf cart with an orangutan. He also did it with somebody else. They did it with somebody else. Put him in a car with an orangutan. He's riding around with an orangutan. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why you put him in the car with an ape? Why did you put him in there with an ape? Oh, there's 4 apes in the car. Oh, I get it. Dude, these guys are racists, 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 racists. Man, I swear to God, bro. Why are you niggas so fugazi, bro? I'm just a thug in love, bro. He should leave everybody who signs to him on Alcatraz Island. Look, man. All money ain't good money, bro. All money ain't good money. And I'm going to tell you, dog, y'all are some young men who are around these men with your shirts off in your drawers during the weigh-in. I can't believe y'all are that fugazi, bro. Yes, orangutans are apes. Yes, they are. Orangutans are great apes, along with bonobos, chimpanzees, gorillas, and humans. These are the great ape families that I know of. Humans, we're great apes. Orangutans are great apes. Chimpanzees, bonobos, and gorillas are all great apes. We don't consider ourselves to be apes because we think of ourselves as humans and we're different than apes. But really, we're just an ape, no different than other apes. We just build homes and we know how to talk with each other the way we talk to each other. Why is my mic not plugged in? My mic is plugged in, bro. Turn your volume up. Turn your volume up. GT Parker said fights weren't worth stealing. Hell no. But here's your link. You can I'll answer the question for you. I'll put a link up. There you go. Now that Diddy is locked up, these guys need somewhere to work to get some work somewhere. Nah, man, I seriously, bro. I think they're gay. I think they're like the gay mafia or something. Because in Chicago we have a gay mafia. Literally, there is a gay mafia. Just so you know, there's literally something called the gay mafia. They're a very, very real thing. They really do work together. They really do participate in organized crime, the whole thing. But they're called the gay mafia. The gay mafia. The gay mafia is very, very real. So I would not doubt at all if these dudes are with the gay mafia. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm talking about the YouTube channels too. I wouldn't doubt it at all if they were in collusion together. Them big ass butter cakes. them big ass butter cakes. I would not be surprised if those butter cakes were absolutely positively colluding. Absolutely. Because why do you have a ring card boy? The only reason you'd have a ring card boy is if there's enough people in there that want to see ring card boys. I mean, let's work backwards. Why would you have a ring card boy? You'd have a ring card boy if the people there don't want a ring card girl, they want a ring card boy. So that fight had a ring card boy. And it was a private event. No one could see. No one got to see it. No residents of the city got to be there. It was an exclusive event. Now, if that is not sweetie pie, nothing else is. Those people are always trying to throw exclusive events where you give away ridiculously expensive gift bags. Bro, this dude, listen to this. When people showed up to the event and they sat in their assigned seats, they got a gift bag. A gift bag. Now, you tell me, what men do you know that throw parties and give gift bags? I mean this very seriously. When is the last time you got together with your boys and they at a party and they put together gift bags? Do you know when that happens? Never. Men do not do gift bags with each other. Do you know who does gift bags? Women do gift bags. Women do gift bags. Women do gift bags. Major companies do gift bags when they're putting out products, but hey, man, when you have a ring card boy and a gift bag, I have to think this is the softest shit I've ever seen. Fanon, he has ring card boys so he doesn't offend the clerics at home. Well, that's why I say go have your fight in Saudi Arabia. If you don't want to offend the clerics, then take your ass back to Saudi Arabia and don't put on boxing events in the United States because we like titties. I'm just telling you. When I see ring card girls, bro, I'm looking right at them guns. Every single solitary time. Oh, I'm like, oh, they got a good one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm looking at the women. You guys got men. Why does he have no shirt on though? If you don't want to offend him, put him in a suit. Put him in a suit and tie and let him hold it like this in the suit and tie. Why do you have him with his shirt off? I would think that would offend the clerics, that you have a man with his shirt off. Exactly, bro. I'm looking at them yams. I'm looking at them guns every single solitary time. Yams and exactly TNA. A little break for TNA. And I hate when they go to commercials. Because if they got a good one, they don't show them enough. Exactly. Or don't have the ring card people at all. Or go between them. Have one, then have a girl. But no, nigga, have a girl. I don't care. Put him in a hijab. You can put him in a hijab for all I care. Matter of fact, I was at a restaurant yesterday and two women walked in, two young girls walked in, and they both had hijabs on. I was like, wow, they were gorgeous. And all you could see was their eyes. But so man, women can be pretty in hijabs, be very sexy in a hijab. So put a woman in a hijab and let the woman in the hijab carry it. You know what I mean? I would rather have a woman completely cloaked other than her eyes than have some dude with his shirt off. Hey, Fanon, you're going to get in trouble with the wifey. No, I'm not. My wife knows I like women. My wife knows very well that I like women. I like women, bro. I'm not blind. As long as I don't act on it and I don't do nothing, what's the problem? No problem whatsoever. My wife has never stressed at me for looking at another woman or being like, oh, that woman's pretty. She'll be like, oh, yeah, she is pretty. And we'll keep walking. So, nah, man, I don't feel like that. I'm not in trouble with my wife for telling the truth. My wife don't care if I go to strip clubs. Don't care. That's why I don't go, because there's no mystery to it. I'll be like, where are you going? Now I'm going to go to the strip club. She'd be like, okay, be back by 11. Okay, I'll be back by 11. And then there ain't no fun to do it because I'm like, yeah, she don't even care. It's no mystery to it. So I wind up not even going. You know? I just go to Top Rank's Facebook page for the clips. Exactly. I just go to the Top Rank's Facebook page for the clips of the ring card girls. Yeah, man. He said my grandma heard you say bootylicious and she fell out laughing. I mean, that's what they are. They're bootylicious. Like, man, come on, man. As a man that has been, look, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but as a male that has been a fairly attractive male, bro, let me tell you something, man. Them dudes be wanting men. Straight men. They want to. I'm telling you, man. You don't need to socialize with those dudes, man. You need to say hi and bye to them cats. Not like they're bad people or anything, but because, bro, you are a sexual object to that man. So if you're a sexual object to that man, you need to behave in a fashion where you understand, oh, I'm a sexual object to him. So let me clarify this, bro. I don't go that way. So then you don't run into any problems with these dudes. But for real, they're all through boxing, man. They're all through boxing, man. You can tell because whenever I bring up the subject and I'm like, dude, y'all need to stop hitting on me. I'm not gay, bro. I'm not gay. Don't hit on me. Don't send me no DMs. I'm not going to your page. I'm not doing anything, any of that shit with you, nigga. Because you seem a little bit, you know what I'm talking about? You seem fugazi to me. So I'm not doing it, bro. What up, Phoenix? What up, Isaiah?
Top of the morning, top of the morning.
How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, but man, I'm just disappointed, man. The weekend fights were a letdown. The ring boys, what type of shit was that?
Man, what I gotta say is, speaking of them gift bags, they kind of sound Diddyish to me because I remember when 50 Cent was talking about he didn't want to hang out with Diddy because Diddy tried to take him shopping at the mall, giving him some gift bags and stuff. So that's the type of vibe that Turkey is giving. I am rolling with that. And what another thing I found out, Ice-T wife Coco was in the crowd. She was sitting next to Michael J. Fox. They could have had her put up the ring cards instead of that dude they grabbed. Like, come on. There was woman there. They could have grabbed a Latina chick from outside the barricade and had her come up and do it. But nah,
man, they could have
nah.
they could have hired Edgar Berlanga's girlfriend to be the ring card girl. Give her some money.
Like, what was they doing?
I know she was in the city. She had to be in the city. Some cousins or something.
But you know what? I think the Conor Ben card was it a ring card as well?
Yeah.
Because
it was Fatal Fury.
They had Ed Sheeran as the ring girl for a couple rounds, I think.
Wow.
I know I saw him there.
He was the ring man.
Yeah, they had him, and then they showed him talking to I Show Speed and KSI.
Man, a damn shame. A damn shame. It's still crazy. Hey, funny thing, a PBC fighter had the best performance of the weekend. Roelly Romero.
I want to do something before you go. I'm gonna cook on this guy JD for 1 second.
All right.
I don't care what the customs are in Saudi Arabia, but American customs are not world customs. The world is different all over. That fight was in New York City, buddy. That fight was not in Saudi Arabia. That fight was in the United States. I don't give a fuck what Saudi Arabian customs are because I'm not Saudi Arabian. I don't give a shit. And anytime you hold hands with a man, it means protection. That's what it means. When you hold your wife's hand and you walk down the street, you are telling everybody there that is your woman. You are with her. You are protecting her. When he holds another man's hand, he is saying the same thing. This is my man. I am protecting this man. He is under my wing of protection. That's what he's doing when he's holding your hand. Okay? And that is everywhere in the world that when you hold someone's hand. If you shake somebody's hand with your right hand, you are showing them that you don't have a weapon in your hand. That's why you shake hands. And why you always say, if you shake hands with your left, you have to say, excuse my left, because you have something in your right hand that doesn't allow you to shake with your right. So you apologize for shaking with your left. You say, excuse the left. But you have to tell them to excuse the left because the custom is that I am a right-handed person and I can have a weapon in this hand. I am showing you I have no weapon. Open palm to open palm. That's open palm to open palm. It means the same thing everywhere. If you hold hands with someone, it means the same thing every single solitary place on the globe because we're all human, all of us. Body language is universal, bro. Now this, you don't know what this means because you're not Italian, but this means fuck you. Okay, but trust me, if somebody does that to you, you know what. If you're talking to somebody and they do this to you, you know what they're doing. They're saying fuck you. The same thing as this. Okay, body language is body language. everywhere. Okay? When people are upset everywhere, they cry. When people are mad, their faces swell, their bodies tense up. When somebody's saying that they're trying to protect you, they put your arm around your shoulder or they grab your hand to assist you and to protect you. So no, bro, don't give me this shit that you guys always try to pull, that the United States is in a bubble all by itself and we just don't understand the rest of the world. Bro, the United States is on the globe, man. There's people from the other countries that are in the United States all the time. Saudi Arabians are all the time. We're not holding hands with each other. Okay? We're not. There are some different cultures, like, for example, a Korean will find it an insult if you put money in your hand. So they always put the money on the table so you can see all the money before you on the table. They will count it on the table. $1, $2, $3, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33. That's your change. Okay? And they will lay that change out to you so you can count it. They don't put it in your hand and not allow you to count it. Okay? People in America get offended because it's like, oh, you don't want to touch my hand. But that's not what they mean. Also, there's Indians that say no like this. No, they say no like this. So yes, there is different body languages. Like if an Indian person is doing this, some Indian people, that means no. And this means yes. So yeah, there's different things and you can be confused. But bro, holding hands and kissing, things like kissing, holding hands, putting your arms around each other, that's universal body language. Okay? That's universal body language for the human because we're all human and we have 99% of everything is the same. Okay? If I go to Great Britain, I don't have to wonder if talking bad about your mother is going to get me in any trouble. I don't know. Is it okay for me to talk bad about your mother? No, it's not good for you to talk about my mother anywhere you go. You know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead, Phoenix. Phoenix?
B about to be hating. No, no, for real, for real. All the smack that people want to talk about PBC overpaying fighters. Look at all this. This is what happens when you're overpaying fighters because you have to generate excitement for people to want to pay to see you. If people could see that this is how it's going to turn out and then go back in time, do you think the same people who bought it would go ahead and still spend their money?
Hell no.
Exactly. So people be talking about, oh, PBC is overpaying fighters. It's not fair. This is why people need to stop hyping these fighters up, talking about, oh, well, they deserve to get paid more. Not if they're going to be doing this. Man, and Shakur Stevenson, man, this guy.
Oh my God. How are you going to clip on Shakur?
Man, because you hear what he's saying? He said, oh, if William School would have been the A side, that he would have won. I'm like, nah, bro. Are you really saying that's the only reason you won against De Los Santos or Haratunian? Like, come on. You can't be talking like that. And they're out here. Him and Clarissa Shields are both out there talking about School. I'm like, man, y'all talking bad about him, but what's Shakur been doing like for his last several fights at 135? Like all his fights at 135, like there's only two, Hadley and Yoshino, where he wasn't doing that. And who was Padley and Yoshino right now? And they was talking to, man, like the stuff, the contradictions, man, the contradictions is what be getting me. It's what be getting me. Roelly, I'm happy that Roelly won. And the reason I'm happy that Roelly won is because hopefully, this will be something that causes all this Turkey matchmaking to go ahead and go down the hill and people start looking at, yeah, this guy ain't really it. He's not really saving boxing. We got firefighters fighting policemen. We got the record for the least amount of punches being thrown in a fight. 3 fights entered the top 5 this weekend for the least amount of punches thrown in a fight.
That's what I'm telling you. They didn't fight, man. I don't believe they really fought.
And that's what I'm saying.
Really fought.
Daddy, my finger is broken.
And so, like, with that, I'm like, man, what is going on with these people that think that names are what make a fight? Like, it takes more than names. It takes excitement. It takes people actually fighting, and it takes people want to actually see fight. And I don't know any of these guys like who people was actually calling for the fights. I wasn't excited for for Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez. That's not something I was jumping out my seat for. And then Arnold Barboza and Teofimo, like guys that got literal pillow fists. Like these is dudes that got like 40% knockout rates. Same thing with School. In his almost 30 fights, he got 9 knockouts. Like shoot, man. Like this is the type of stuff where for me it's like if I ain't even gonna turn on the Inouye fight today, just because I ain't even gonna watch that because I'm like, nah, this same nonsense is gonna happen here. I ain't doing it.
Dive. I'm telling you, man, I don't think those guys fought, man. I really don't. I don't think they really I think they went in there where they were just going to collect money, man. I don't believe that they really put forth real effort in those fights.
I agree, Fanon. It was a letdown, and to pay for Friday's card was just disgusting, and then to bundle it up with Saturday's card, which was and you know what, everyone was hyping up the card so much that, oh man, it's gonna be the best card. Canelo. I mean, I'll be honest, I would have rather seen that in the States than in Saudi if there was going to be the exact same thing. And I guarantee you, they didn't even generate and as much money as they normally do when they come to the States. That those were not even fights like you said, Fanon. Those were just collecting paychecks. They showed up to the job, didn't put no effort, and figured, oh, I'm getting all this money. I don't even care. And another thing I saw was as soon as Canelo talked, right away Turkey said, everyone clear the ring. Like he's forcing this fight. And you could see Canelo kind of like, oh, what the hell? Like you could see his face. Like he doesn't even probably in his head, he's probably thinking, I don't even want to do a face off. I want to be with my family. And then you have Turkey when Bud comes up holding his hand, and Bud kind of just like, nah, like I don't want to hold your hand, like he doesn't make it be known, but I was paying attention. And then for them to face off, to me it felt forced. It was a forced face off for a bullshit promotion, and the card's probably even gonna do the exact same. Because I don't believe Bud is gonna fight, and Canelo even said it himself. He said this was not a fight. This guy just came to run. I don't like styles like that. I hope Bud really is gonna fight me. I don't know. I just thought this whole weekend was bullshit, and these cards were not worth the money. I don't care if they were 45 each. I would have paid 25 at most for both of these cards.
Tops. I got ripped off. I could pay the whole thing. I'm telling you, man. That shit was. They didn't fight. I mean, I don't care. I'm telling you, I don't believe they fought. I don't believe Ryan Garcia tried to fight. I don't believe that Devin tried to fight. I don't believe Barboza tried to fight. I don't think Tio tried to fight, and I don't think Arnold Barboza. Who's the other? Barboza and
Barboza and Ramirez.
And Ramirez. I don't think they tried to fight, man.
And there was a Golden Boy card, really. And I think Oscar had the impressions that, okay, once Ryan wins, we're gonna have another belt under our stable. Well, now that belt belongs to PBC. So shout out to them and Roelly for doing what he did and going over there. Now, like how Phoenix said, I believe it was you, Fanon, with the matchmaking. This is going to show that Turki is not a matchmaker. Turki's just this random dude. I don't even want to say a fan because he's making these fights that don't even make sense. Like they've always said, styles make fights. And those were not two styles you put in a ring. Those were boring fights. Like you said, no one came to fight. It was disgusting. A ripoff. And it is what it is. Everyone's going to say, oh, you're a hater. Not when you're paying $90.
Nope.
Come on now. That's ridiculous.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind? Come on.
What's up, Fanon? Thank you for allowing me on. So we once again were confronted with an inconvenient truth. And I didn't even watch the fight. I followed Southpaw and what's the other brother's name? Punch Drunk Boxing's live stream coverage to a certain degree. But anytime Canelo Alvarez is not fighting somebody that I want to see fight, I'm not going to support the guy. Period. And he hasn't been fighting who we want to see him fight for years. No doubt the guy's talented, but he's also a drug cheat. No doubt that he's talented, but he's extremely privileged. So we saw once again the myth that was busted that he's improved so much since the Floyd Mayweather fight. Myth confirmed. He still can't cut off the ring. I didn't even watch the fight, so I can't say for sure. But Southpaw was saying during the fight that he thought Skull outlanded Canelo. And he was once again confirming that Canelo can't cut off the ring. We saw why this guy ducked Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade in 3 different divisions. Ducked him for undisputed at 160, fighting Rocky Field Hands of the world, and DAZN was overpaying the guy so much that the Russian oligarch who used to run DAZN, Len Blavnik, cut off the contract. He said, Canelo, we didn't pay you $300 million or whatever. We're not going to pay you this contract for fighting these British bums and these European hype jobs, these Irish Republican Army irregulars. We're not going to pay you all this ridiculous money for fighting these Bosnian warlords. And so he cut up the contract. He said it was bogus. We're not going to overpay you for fighting these guys. And so Canelo, of course, he doesn't want to. He doesn't like to be talked to. He likes to have the crown as a so-called king. But as Andre Ward used to say, heavy is the head that wears the crown. So he wants to be undisputed at 168, which he doesn't even need the belts, Fanon. And boxing belts are really for guys who are up and coming, for certain guys who have styles that may not be conducive to public support, guys like Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. So unless they have belts, people are not really trying to fight them. So those kinds of guys need belts. Canelo doesn't need belts. So he's up at 168. He says, I don't like to fight the William Skulls. I don't like to fight the Demetrius Boo Boo Andrades. Well, guess what, Canelo? Let me ask you this, Fanon. Are David Morrell Jr., who was in position to fight Canelo, and David Benavidez, is he going to have to worry about finding those guys in the ring, Fanon?
No.
So why doesn't he go fight those guys, especially as undisputed? Can somebody answer that question for me?
I don't think so.
Those fights would be better.
They can't answer it because he wants to have his cake and eat it too. So if you don't want to fight Orlises Iglesias, who's an up-and-coming Cuban at 168, I think he's ranked in all those sanctioning bodies, he won't run from your ass either. If you don't want to fight Pacheco, who I think is going to be the WBO mandatory. He's number 1 in the WBO. They probably won't name him mandatory because they let Canelo get away with whatever the hell he wants to do while holding up the division, retarding the progress of the division. If you don't want to fight Christian and Billy, Fanon, for all of his faults, is Christian and Billy going to run from Canelo? Or is he going to be in his fucking face?
In his fucking face.
He may get knocked out, but he's going to put up a fight. So Canelo wants to have his cake and eat it too. What has Terrence Crawford, who many people thought lost at 154 to Madrimov? I don't want to hear this talk about he's going to beat Canelo, he has a chance. It's crap. It's a cash grab. Everything that Canelo has done pretty much has been a cash grab over the past few years. The Bivol fight was a cherry pick gone wrong because Bivol had been fighting nondescript opponents. He'd not been getting the big fights, and he'd just been putting workmanlike performances up. So Canelo thought he was sweet, went up there and fought Bivol, and he got a rude-ass awakening. Then Bivol said after the fight, I'll come down to 168, and I'll become undisputed at 168 too. Canelo ran from that rematch. This guy is the biggest fraud in modern day sports. And I keep on hearing fans try to compare Canelo to Mayweather and Pacquiao. Mayweather and Pacquiao never cherry picked on a level that this guy did, going on European tours against Buckingham Palace guards, against Rocky Field Hands. These Mayweather and Pacquiao never went on a run like this to where their networks were rejecting their fights. Mayweather was never trying to fight Makubu, MacBook Air, whatever the hell that Congolese. We didn't even know that guy's age, Fanon. And even DAZN, which let him cherry pick so much, said, no, we will not agree to Makubu. We will not agree to MacBook Air. So do not tell me how much this guy has improved with his matchmaking. Do not tell me Eddie Cartel Reynoso, who the FBI should be investigating his gym because it's full of drug cheats, is such this great trainer. He's not a great trainer. He gives no good advice in between rounds. His guys lose more times than not when they face good competition. All of this is hype. All of this is bogus, these narratives that are going out there. All of it is. And it's being exposed. And Turkey, I said I would praise him when he does good, like when he made Bivol Beterbiev, but I'm gonna criticize him when he does bad. He's done a lot of bad. He doesn't he doesn't get his way. He's just like Crawford. That's why the two of them like each other. They want to take their ball and go home. So he wanted to make Tim Tszyu versus Virgil Ortiz, and Tim was injured. And then Tim fought a more difficult fight when he fought that IBF guy, the guy from Russia, and he got his ass kicked. Yeah, no, what was the guy from Russia? The guy from Chechnya, the guy who knocked him out. Tim ended up fighting him. I forgot his name right now.
Hey, what happened to Jaime McGill last night? Did he win?
Yeah, he won a decision.
He won
He won in a boring fashion.
He won in a boring fashion too. Again. And then he did the same thing to Benavidez. He flew Benavidez over there under the pretext that he was going to get the winner. And then Benavidez found out the plan, and he said, I'm done with this. And I still think, Fanon, I think that Turkey planted the story in the media that Benavidez was negotiating with Bivol. I don't think there was ever really a serious negotiation because Turkey he warned Bivol. He said, if you go, you know where the money is. I made the better BF fight. They were sidelining you because of the sanctions against Russia. And if you go and you pursue the fight with Benavidez, I'm done with you. Same thing I did with Tim Tszyu. Same thing I do with anybody who doesn't give me whatever the hell I want. So the guy's extremely privileged. He likes to cut people off. And again, he's exposing these things that I've been saying for years, Fanon. How is Terrence Crawford going to go? Look at the rankings at 168. There are guys who are undefeated who deserve to be there. How is he going to get a championship, a shot at undisputed, undeserved, above a Christian and Billy? Benavidez and Morrell had to move out of the weight class to finally get some action. It's fucking ridiculous what's going on in boxing. It's a scam what Canelo's been doing the past few years. And I've said it for the whole time, Fanon. People call me a hater. I said, Canelo, drop the belts. You don't need them. Your popularity is not based on the belts. You're the so-called face of boxing. Let other guys fight, and you do what the hell you want. And I don't have a problem with that. Haven't I not said that, Fanon, since you've known me?
Bunch of times.
I want to get your thoughts on that. I'm still here. I'm just going to go to the background. I want to get everybody's thoughts on what I just said.
Okay, there's nothing I can really retort with that because I believe you're 100% correct. I mean, there's nothing else I can add. You're right. He's very, very privileged. He definitely went on a Eurobum tour with Matchroom. Yeah, I don't think that Terrence Crawford, like even the way that Canelo looked in that fight, that just looked last night, doesn't mean that he's the best at 168, or that he's at 160. It means he's the best at 168 because he wouldn't fight these guys. And I'm just looking at Terrence stand next to Canelo and like he's actually bigger than Canelo, taller, longer than Canelo. So it's just an interesting thing. We'll see whether or not they actually fight. We'll see. Like, I don't believe these guys are fighting for Turkey. I don't believe it. They don't. They look like, like if when you're a kid and your father's watching you, like, you're going to put extra into it. Like, my father never went to any of my events. But one time that he did go, every time that he went, I just was really trying to show out the best I could because my father's there. But he's putting people in situations where there's no reason for them to be motivated to take a beating or give a beating because they're just being paid a bunch of money for fights that don't really mean anything because they don't mean anything. The fight with Devin and Jose Ramirez, it didn't mean anything. Neither did the fight with Tio. It just didn't mean anything. So, I just think that you can pay people money. That doesn't mean they're going to fight for you. Just like you can pay people a salary at work doesn't mean you can make them do the best they can do with the job. If they're not happy at the job and they're the only job that they can get, or you mistreat them or whatever, they'll tank on you. They'll tank on you on a assembly line. They'll tank on you as a garbage collector. You'll get half effort. You'll get half effort out of them, and because there's no motivation. And I don't believe that Turki motivates anybody to want to be a champion for him. I just don't think it's going to work. I think they're just taking his money. And I agree 100%. I think Canelo's been taking DAZN's money. Been taking it. You know? And if he fights with the PBC, he's going to have to they're going to have to actually fight somebody. So, what's your take, Isaiah? And then I'll go to Phoenix after that.
I agree with Fanon. I can't even count how many WBC fake belts, and I call them fake because these are specially made belts for Canelo. I can't even count how many the WBC has been giving him, considering like Kamal said, there are other gentlemen in the class at 168 that deserve that title. So for me, I agree with Kamal, and I hope they strip him of other belts just because he's gonna fight Bud. That way it can no longer be for undisputed, because it is disgusting how they allow him to just sit back and do whatever he wants. And it's like you just said, if he goes to the PBC, he's going to have to fight someone. And there's no possibility that he will not win that fight. Why? Because the PBC, they know what they're doing. They're not just going to pay you to come here and fight a skull and pull off a performance like that. And after we're giving you millions, come on, that's bullshit.
Yep. Hey, but look, what's your take on it, Phoenix? Because then I'm gonna head out after that.
Alrighty. But yeah, I'll say, I put it on the sanctioning bodies and on Canelo. 'Cause I mean, the sanctioning bodies, if they were more consistent across the board with how they handle things, I mean, look at William Skull, right? He was the mandatory at the time that Canelo fought Berlanga. That's why he got stripped in the first place, because he fought Berlanga instead of Skull. And I remember everyone was talking about, oh, who is Skull? How does the IBF have him ranked this high? He's just some bum. He's a nobody. And then we seen what happened last night, just because people didn't know the name. But at the same time, he did stink it up. And it's one of those things for me where I say, hey, for Bud to be coming up to fight, the sanctioning bodies, they either got to sign off on it and approve it, or they're going to have to say, no, we don't approve this to strip Canelo. But I haven't heard any word of them doing that when it's been how long since the fight been announced? I mean, last night was the official confirmation, but there's that. So, I mean, looking at it like that, if the sanctioning bodies is going to okay it, then, maybe a different thing has to be done. Because some of these other fighters, maybe they got to start, suing for their title shots. Like, who was it, Dillian White? We have to go ahead and do that, fight in court to try to get his title shot. And if these other fighters ain't willing to do that, then hey, I mean, that's the same thing that's the only reason that Yildirim got his fight with Canelo, is because hey, he wanted his title shot after the WBC promised him, and he got injured and all that, and that's what ended up happening. So that's the way I look at it. Like, fighters can do so much, but then sanctioning bodies, they got to do something too. The last thing I'll say, man, if Shakur don't shut the hell up, he one of the people saying that Bud might actually go ahead and hurt and stop Canelo. So I'm just like, Bud is just taller with a longer reach. He's gonna have to get used to that weight, and he might end up in the same situation as Devin Haney, over a year off, jumping up how many weight classes, with the only fight in between being what we saw with Madrimov, and he's gonna have to fight at a new weight where his body ain't used to fighting at that weight. Like, there's just a whole bunch of variables that say, like, yo, he's gonna come in and look like Devin Haney did, just because of that time off and the weight that he's gonna have to fight at. I don't see this fight being anything special or spectacular.
Yes, sir. But all right, man, I'm gonna get back
Hey,
with
come
y'all.
on. Can I say one last thing too?
Absolutely, you can. Hey,
So-
but let me do this super chat first, though.
Okay.
This Cash App first, actually. Hey, man. So my guy Alton Jones said, "Didn't Canelo make 100 million for that trash ass fight?" Who knows, man? Who knows what they're actually paying? But probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually got the real money. Him, but yeah, a lot of money, I'm sure. Yes, sir. And Joey Hayward said, in my opinion, worst weekend in boxing history. So far, it's terrible. So far, it's been terrible. You got one more, and so maybe Monster Inoue will get a knockout, and it'll be a good fight tonight. But other than that, crap. Yes, sir. All right, Isaiah, I'll see you later. I'll see you bounced out. Go ahead, come on. You're good.
So hopefully, Monster Inoue doesn't stink up the joint. I think that he won't. And salute to him because he's finally. I sent you the article, Fanon. He's finally fighting Akhmadiliyov. That's signed
Yes,
for
sir.
September. He announced that. Did just want to push back on one thing that Phoenix and had said. PBC let Canelo get away with murder. They had Jermell Charlo, which at the time at 154, when those two were at the division, Jermell Charlo was actually with Golden Boy and got out of his contract because Golden Boy had an agreement with him that he was supposed to get the Canelo fight. And if he didn't get the Canelo fight, then he could obtain his release. And he didn't get it, so that's why Jermell Charlo went with Al Heyman. And the second fight was Mungia and Berlanga, so they let him get away with murder too. Yeah, those guys were bigger names, but still. The thing is, we see why Canelo never rematched Laura. He never rematched Austin Trout with the bogus open scoring. And even with the knockdown that forced Austin to open up, I thought Austin deserved at least a draw, if not a win in that Canelo fight. So the guy has avoided certain styles and cherry-picked on a level that we have not seen before. Crawford, I still think, has no shot against him. Just because you're taller than somebody, weight classes are defined by bone density. Okay, there are people in those sperm weights and those really small weights that are 6'1" and 6'2". Doesn't mean they can go up to 175 and beat somebody who's 5'10". And you can
Right.
say in the comments section that Billy
No,
had a really bad out.
To your point, I just
Go
want to
ahead.
let everybody know. To your point, back in the day when they would do measurements of fighters, they would measure their neck, they would measure their wrists, they would measure their thighs, they would measure their ankles. They didn't just measure how tall you are and how much you weigh. They also paid attention to your body, the dynamics of your body. So, like, for example, you had Sam Langford, who might have only weighed 175, something like that. Like at the most he ever weighed was somewhere in the 170s, but he was a heavyweight. The reason why he's a heavyweight is because of what he was from the waist up, because he had very thick neck, he had very thick wrists, very thick hands, unusually big barrel chest, but he had small legs. So his reach was long, he was shorter, but the density, like you're saying, the density of his body was enough to handle heavyweights, even though he never had the weight in his legs to get him up to 210 or 210, 215 pounds. But yeah, absolutely. When you measure somebody in a fight, you have to measure all of that stuff, not just how tall they are. You have to pay attention to how thick their wrists are, especially how big their hands are, because the size of your hands affects your power. So people with unusually big hands and unusually thick torsos, they can fight like Canelo. Canelo got thick torso, thick arms, thick wrists. He's a bigger guy, even though his legs are shorter and he's not as tall. That's what Kamal's talking about. And that's a very, very real thing.
Exactly. Fanon, and this is why I listen to you. I love your show and I love how unique you are on YouTube because you articulated in a way I couldn't. Thank you for breaking that down. So
yeah, it's really real what you're saying.
And ask yourself, Fanon, with Turkey's bad matchmaking and him giving us preliminary fights. So he ruined Wilder and Joshua with bad preliminary matchmaking, putting Wilder in with a very active Joseph Parker, probably the most active fighter in all of boxing, which was a dumb thing. Then he put him immediately with Zhang. Okay, so we don't get that. And then he ruined the rematch between Haney and Garcia by putting in what Phoenix and I were saying was a very dangerous fighter, Roelly Romero. Put some respect on motherfucking Tank's name. And I'm not calling Tank a motherfucker. I'm talking the jabronis and the haters in corporate media who've downplayed, and the Haneyacks and the Bud Buddies who've downplayed Tank's resume. Don't tell me about Joet Gonzalez, aka the Fred Flintstone guy who hasn't done anything. Don't tell me about Mr. Miyagi that fought Shakur. Don't tell me about Haney outweighing motherfuckers by 30 pounds, but clinching more than a prom date. Tank's resume beats all these guys. Put some respect on his name. Just because Tank fights somebody, you in corporate media and in the YouTube echo chambers try to make them out like a bum. But yet, who's trying to fight Shakur and Haney's leftovers, Fanon? No one. Maybe one or two in Loma Chico. That's it. Who's trying to fight Tank's leftovers, Fanon? Much more people.
Everybody.
Roelly went in there and did what I said he could do, and that was upset the apple cart. And I've been telling you for years that Tank's resume slept on.
Yes, sir.
I've been saying that for years. And I'll close with this. Crawford and Canelo's nothing more than a money grab. And I think Jake Paul's point is going to be prescient. When Canelo pulled out of that Jake Paul fight, Jake said, you're going to see whoever I fight is going to be bigger than any event Canelo does this year. I predict that, and hold me to it, Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. will be bigger than either the Crawford and Canelo fight, which I think that nobody's really going to watch, especially with what they're going to pay the two. Committed Turkey's going to pay the two. And it's definitely going to be bigger than Skull. I want to get your thought on that last prediction. Thank you for your time. Without him out, bye.
All right, brother. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it probably will be bigger because they're going to have it. Number one, they're going to have it in a real stadium. And number two, they're going to sell pay-per-views. So absolutely, I think that it's going to be financially much more lucrative for the people putting on the event than Canelo Crawford, because there's no way they can make money paying $300 million. If they actually paying that money, $200 million for Canelo and $100 million for Terrence, there's no way they're going to make that money back. But look, let me get up out of here. Much love to everybody. Thank you guys so much for your support. Victor says next time, Fanon. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. And next time will be tomorrow. And with that, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.